Hello everyone, welcome to Mithun Technologies. So in this video, I'm going to explain you about this Docker Swarm cluster setup in Ubuntu servers. So before going to discuss about how we can do this cluster setup in Ubuntu servers, first we'll discuss about that what is a Docker Swarm, why we need to use. So Docker Swarm is a container orchestration tool. First of all, what do you mean by container orchestration? Container orchestration is the process of automatic deployment, scaling, and management of containers across the multiple machines. So using the Docker is a one containerization tool. To manage this Docker containers, we need to use that container orchestration tools. So Docker Swarm is one of the container orchestration tool. So it manages the containers effectively. So Docker Swarm cluster consists of one or two more nodes. One or more nodes also. You can maintain two nodes also. One is a manager node, another one is worker node. But we may have n number of worker nodes and we may have n number of manager nodes also. But in our demo, in today's demo, I am going to show you that one manager node and two worker nodes. Right. So this manager node is going to manage this worker nodes and it is going to scheduling the containers, right, to manage the task and all. What this worker nodes are going to do? The actual containerized applications or services are going to run on these worker nodes, right? So we are using this Docker Swarm. Why we need to use this Docker Swarm? What are the benefits? What are the benefits of this Docker Swarm? See, if you don't use this Docker Swarm, simply if you use this Docker, you have to manage the containers manually. It is very difficult. But if you use this Docker Swarm, we'll get that high availability. So automatically, Docker Swarm is going to take that the running services across the multiple nodes, right? And it ensures that high availability and load balancing. Docker Swarm can automatically distribute the traffic across the multiple instances of a service, improving performance and reliability. And also, it is integration with Docker. See, you don't want to install any other third-party softwares if you want to set up this Docker Swarm cluster. If you already Docker has installed, it is fine. And service discovery. Docker Swarm provides the built-in service discovery. Automatically, it is going to allow services to find the and communicate with each other. And also another important benefit is rolling updates. Docker Swarm supports rolling updates, allowing you to deploy a new versions of your applications without downtime. That is very important. See, we released a 1.0.0 with some 10 features. Again, developers developed some another 5 features. We need to roll out these 5 features without downtime on the existing application. So for that one, we are going to use this Docker Swarm, right? But if you don't use this one, and you have to make that application down and we have to deploy manually, right? So we should not supposed to do like that one. So what are the alternatives for Docker Swarm? See, nowadays no one is using this Docker Swarm. Even as part of our curriculum also, we are not going to teach this one. Then why we are making this video? To make aware of this, what is a Docker swarm, why we need to use. So that's why our for students purpose I am creating this one. So what are the Docker swarm alternatives? Kubernetes, right? And Apache meshes. Before going to Apache meshes, Kubernetes is one of the most popular container orchestration tool. So nowadays, most of the guys are talking about that Kubernetes. Why Kubernetes is popular? And as part of our curriculum, we are going to teach this Kubernetes only. We are not going to teach this Docker swarm. Why? So, automate scaling, service discovery, and declarative configuration management. It is very important. Right? You may have questions, sir. Even in Docker swarm also, we have automatic scaling, service discovery. Just we discussed it, right? But here, many advanced features are there, right? Like a Helm chart. So all these things we are going to discuss in our Kubernetes sessions. And also Red Hat OpenShift. So in 2019, I worked on this Red Hat OpenShift in my previous organization and Apache meshes. So it is a distributed system kernel and it is providing by this Apache Software Foundation, okay, and Amazon ECS. So it is a Amazon ECS means Amazon Elastic Container Service. We are going to cover this one also. It is managed container orchestration service provided by AWS. So it is not free. Then Rancher, Nomad, like this, many alternatives for Docker method. See, we discussed about the Amazon ECS. Anyway, we are going to cover that one also as part of our curriculum. But most of the guys are using Kubernetes. Why? Kubernetes is open source. If you want to use this Kubernetes, you don't want to pay the money and don't want to purchase any license. But if you want to use this Amazon ECS, it is not free, right? So that's why most of the guys are using this Kubernetes. Okay, so now we'll discuss about this Docker Swarm cluster setup. So if you want to implement this Docker Swarm cluster, it's like one master node, one worker node, two worker nodes. So for this one, first three Ubuntu machines we need to launch. In that one we are going to use as a master node and two are worker nodes. So first we need to launch these three servers. Then you have to install the Docker. Without installing the Docker, we are not able to set up this Docker Swarm cluster. Right. After that, we are going to set up this, how we can implement this Docker Swarm cluster. So let's go to this, our AWS account, launch instances. So you can, so no need to give this one because I am creating the three servers. So Ubuntu. T2 micro is enough just for our practice purpose. So, and also I'm going to give this one. So 8 GB hard disk space is enough, more enough. Then launch the instances. So 3 servers we are launching. After that, see, we need to install this Docker. Before that, enable these ports. See, 2377 for cluster management communications. So TCP port is enough. And TCP and UDP port 7946. Communication among the nodes. In between these nodes, if you want to communicate each other, 7946. And UDP port 4789, you have to for overlay network traffics. So these are the 3 ports you have to open in all these 3 servers. But anyway, we're using that one security group for all these 3 servers. If you open in that security group, whatever we are using for these 3 servers, that is more enough. Okay, so first let me give the names. Just refresh it. So I'm going to give the names like Docker Swarm server, or we can call as a master node. So these are the Docker nodes, Docker node 1. Another one, Docker node 2. So like this, I have given the labels to these 3 machines. So now let me enable these ports. See here, launch wizard 3 is the security group which we are using. Click on this one, edit inbound rules. Click on add rule. So TCP port, see, if you go here and see that TCP port enough, 2377. So now we'll go with this one. Then add. So again, TCP port and UDP both here. TCP and UDP 7946. Okay. And UDP also. See here. Custom UDP. Same port number 7946. And also, see here, UDP port 4789. 4789. 4789. So like this, you have to enable these ports in our secret group. Right. Now, if you go to this, these 3 servers now, suppose if you go to this Docker node 2, go to the security and see that launch wizard 3. This is the secret group which we are using, but already if you see that these are the ports okay, enabled. Right. Click on edit inbound rules. See that all these ports already enabled. Okay. So now we need to install the Docker in all these 3 servers. So let me connect to these servers. So installing Docker, already I discussed it in one of the video. If you go to our YouTube channel, see here, I explain that. So our YouTube channel name is Mithun Technologies DevOps. Just search with this one, Mithun Technologies DevOps, and see that if you click on these videos, you will see that Docker installation in Ubuntu machine. So, but anyway, here also I'm explaining. But here in detail, I explained how we have to get that commands, from where we need to get this one from Docker official website. So all these things I had explained in this video. Okay, so first let me connect to this server. So take this command. So this one. Go to the folder where your PEM files are there. And let's execute this command. So successfully connected. So just remember this 221 is the Docker swamp manager, and go to this node 1. Connect to this node 1. Click on connect. Take this command. Open terminal and successfully connected. So this 4 is the worker node 1, and another node also we are going to connect now. Node 2. Click on connect. Take this command. We are in the wrong. Go to this AC2 AWS. So current. So first make sure you have to go to that correct path where your PEM files are there. Okay. So now we created that 3 servers like 42 and 4, 221. 3 Ubuntu servers. And we had successfully connected to these 3 servers. Right. So now we are going to install this Docker software in all these 3 machines. Just you can execute this command. So already I documented in our blog also. If you go to our blog, Mithun Technologies blog is there. Right. Mithun Technologies -devops.blogspot.com. Just refer this one. Here you will see that one label called as Docker. Click on this one. Here I documented how we can install this one. And also, if you go to that website, there also have explained that video which already we created and uploaded in YouTube channel. Same command you can execute in all these 3 machines. This is a worker node 1, then worker node 2. So it will take some time. Okay. So it's installing. So what we did? So we created 3 servers, enabled the port number, and now we are installing this Docker in all these 3 machines. After installing, we need to add this Ubuntu user because we created a Ubuntu machine, right? 3 Ubuntu Linux servers. The default username is Ubuntu. Normal user is going to create. That user we need to add into this Docker group so that without any sudo privileges, we can able to execute all the Docker related commands. Otherwise, you have to use every time sudo. We are not able to run. Right. But that user also should have the sudo privileges. But assume I have one user called as Bhaskar. I don't have any sudo privileges. That time we are not able to execute any Docker commands. But if you add this user into this Docker group, you can able to execute any Docker commands. So this one also already I have explained in that Docker installation video. Okay, so it's installed. Just execute this one. See, 221 is our manager node. Docker info. See, we are getting this error. The solution is you have to log out and relogin. But this will use Docker space --- version. right? So Docker engine, whatever it is installed, it is. But the daemon process is there. Docker server details, it is not going to give. Right. So the solution is, so if you go to any server, same error we are going to get. This is the Docker one, node one. Just take execute nodes, Docker space hyphen version. It is working. But Docker info, if you execute, we are getting that same error. Even in Docker, this worker node 2 also. Docker info. See that? So log out and re-login. Sorry. Before that, we need to add this Ubuntu user to the group in all the machines. This all these three servers we have to execute. Okay. So now also, even after adding, it is not going to work. See? But log out and re-login. See? Again, we successfully connected. Now we can execute Docker info. See that? Now it is getting this server information, that daemon, Docker daemon. Same thing, you have to do it in other two worker nodes also. For log out by using the exit command. Okay. Then again you can connect. Connected. Now you can execute this Docker info. See, it's working. Same way, you can do it in node 2. Okay. Exit. Connect. Done. Now you can execute this Docker info. See, it's working. Fine. Right. So like this, you have to do this setup, like adding the user into Docker group, and you have to log out and you have to re-log in. Right. So we executed all these these commands and it is working. Now we need to set up this Docker Swarm cluster. So for this one, first you have to execute this command Docker Swarm init. So it is going to initialize the Docker Swarm cluster. Where we need to execute? So whatever the node, whatever the server which we are going to use as a master node, there you have to execute. There you have to execute. So already we discussed it. This 221, we have given the name as Docker Swarm machine. See, Docker Swarm server. This see that 221. So here you can execute. So once if you execute this command, see that here Swarm initialized current node. This is the ID is now a manager. To add a worker to this Swarm, run the following command. So this command you have to execute. So already see in this one I have explained. Once you execute above command, it will initialize the Swarm cluster and it will generate the ID to add the worker nodes like this one. This is the command, right? Suppose by mistake you executed clear command. Now how to get that one? Very simple. See that Docker Swarm join token worker. So if you want to add the worker nodes, just execute this command. Suppose if you want to make the another node as a manager, see we may have already we discussed in the beginning n number of manager nodes, n number of worker nodes also. Why more than one manager? Suppose if one manager node is down, at least other manager can able to take care. So that one, for that one, if you see here, you have to execute this command. Docker Swarm giant token manager. So we are not discussing in this one multiple manager nodes. Here we are discussing one manager node, two worker nodes. Okay. So now what to do? So whatever the command, this command, we got it in this manager node, we have to execute this command. So before executing, suppose I want to see that how many this nodes, the worker nodes added to this manager node. Just execute this one, Docker node ls. See, currently, how many nodes? Only one, that is manager. See, manager node. And see, it is showing that here, leader. It is active in this 221 server. See that host name, 221 server, ready, availability active. It is a leader. Now, I'm going to execute this command in worker nodes. Copy, go to this node machine 1. So this is a node machine 1. You can paste it. See, this node joined as a swarm, as a worker node. See, this node joined as a swarm, as a worker. Now, you can go to this 221 server. Now we can execute the same command, docker node ls. See that this server 4 means this last number, it is for displaying 4, right? This one is node number 1, worker node 1. See, it is active. But if you observe that manager status, it is not a leader, means it is a worker node. Same way, I am going to execute same command in 42 server. This is a worker node 2. See, this node joined as a swarm, as a worker. Now go to this manager node, execute this one, docker node ls. See that one manager, two are the worker nodes. Worker nodes. Right. So now I want to drop one node, worker node from this manager. So for that one, you can use this one, docker swap leave. So if you execute this command, suppose I'm going to execute this command in the worker node 1, docker swap leave. Let's execute. See that node left from the swam. Now go to this manager node and you can execute this docker node ls. See that still it is showing that active because it is not updated. It is showing that ready. Right, ready. Now you can again execute. Observe that now it is showing that down, but it is available, but it is down. It is not added to this cluster. Right. Suppose again I want to join with manager. Again, go to this node 1, which node you want to join with our swarm. Execute the same command, docker swarm join. See, this one is the manager IP address. This is a port. Right. So now you can go and go to the manager. This one. You can execute this one, docker node ls. Observe that here, this 4 is ready now. But still, if you see here, it is displaying them. So this is old one with this ID. Earlier it was created. So I want to remove this one from my cluster. Right. So for that one, docker node rm, the ID. So just copy paste this one. So execute this one. So it's deleted. Now you can execute docker node ls. Observe that. 2 worker nodes and 1 manager node. So now I want to deploy one image. I want to create containers with 2 replicas, or you can use that 4 replicas and port forwarding 8080. Why? Because HTTPD Docker image I'm using here. For this Docker image, I'm creating the container, sorry, here service called as Mithun Techno web server. In that one, it is going to create that 4 replicas, 4 containers, right? So let me execute this one. See, this HTTPD image is, it is not there in my local Docker images. See, we don't have. So in this case, what will happen? But this HTTPD image is not there, right? In this case, what will happen? So it is going to get from Docker Hub, right? So we'll discuss what is the Docker Hub bundle. See, Docker service create. We are giving the name, service name, replicas for port forwarding 8080, container port and a host port. And this is the image name, Docker image. Let's execute. See, it's creating. So it is going to download this Docker image and it's creating. So it's done. Right. So now you can execute this command Docker service ls and see whether it is created or not. See, this service has created. Now you can execute Docker images. See that HTTPD image got downloaded. Earlier it was not there. See, we executed earlier. It was not there. Docker images. This image was not there. Now we can see this service, Mithun Techno web service, web server. See, it's there. And if you observe that, 4 replicas. So here see 1, 2, 3, 4. Automatically it is going to, already we discussed it. Automatically it is going to manage these services. Right. Now we'll discuss about that how we can get this Docker Swarm documentation. So these are the reference websites. So guys, my suggestion is follow this official website. When from in all webs, all my sessions explaining to our students, when I'm teaching any tool, each tool they are providing that the official documentation, right? So you have to go through this official documentation. Just go to this browser, just search with Docker Swarm. See, click on the Swarm mode. See here, deploy services to a Swarm. So this is a command which we discussed, right? Docker service create nginx. So here they are using that nginx. We use that HTTPD. See here we didn't mention any replicas, name and all. If you observe that here, we discussed it, right? Hyphen name, we are giving the custom name and replicas for. If you don't specify these replicas, by default it is going to take 1. See here, 1 replica. So if you want, you can give that custom name, see, by using this hyphen flag. Right, to provide a name for your service, you can use that hyphen name. Right, see. And also, how SWAM works. Node. Here, that detailed documentation is there. See, we discussed about this one. Docker SWAM join token worker. To retrieve the join command, including the join token for worker nodes, run the following command. Already we discussed it. So we are going to get this one. You can execute this one in the worker nodes. We are going to see this message. Already we discussed this one also. Right. So manage the nodes, Docker node ls, we discussed it. So if you want to go through this one, these nodes, and also if you want to add or remove, we discussed these things already. Right. So like this, see here, the detailed documentation is there. And see here, scale the service in the SWAM. See currently, we use it that 4. If you want, you can change it to 5 also. How? Docker service, scale, the service ID, number of tasks. See, currently, we use that 4, right? So suppose if you want to scale the replicas to 4 or 5 or 2, use the below command. Docker service, scale, the service ID, and this one. So what is the service ID? Just execute this command, Docker service, ls. So this is the service ID. Take this one. Right now see that replicas 4. Now I am going to change it to 2. See, if you have this one, it is going to manage automatically this cluster, all these things. See that? Scale to 2. Earlier it was 4. It's done. Now you can execute Docker service, service name. What is the service name? Docker. So we use this command, right? Docker service PS. See that? Only 2. Earlier it was 4, right? So like this, you can go through this one. But I'm not going to recommend to use this Docker Swarm cluster if you want to make your container orchestration. Rather than using this Docker Swarm, you can go through that Kubernetes or Red Hat OpenShift. Now, these are the two are very good demand in the market. Okay. So, thank you for watching this video. So, please subscribe our YouTube channel, and also we have on Facebook. Just search with Mithun Technologies. One page is there and account also is there, and blog URL and reference websites. Already we discussed it. docs.docker.com/engine/swarm. Right? Go through these websites, refer the documents. Still, if you have any questions related to any Docker or any DevOps or any cloud, please reach out to Mithun Technologies. This is our phone number. And if you have any queries in offline, if you want to discuss, please send a mail to devopstrainingblr@gmail.com. Thank you.